Welcome! Today we're looking at Elfland Beyond the Fields You Know, a resource book for DCC RPG. Now, like any resource book for any OSR or OSR adjacent game, you can easily convert this for anything. A lot of this is more inspiration and cool ideas, but there are stat blocks, and those stat blocks are for DCC. Just keep that in mind. But overall, you can use this basically for any fantasy thing you might have. It really just focuses a lot on Elfland or Feywild, any sort of, Fey or elf-like plane of existence you might have in your games. This will work great for it. A lot of it is just a big book of tables that separate out in different sections, which we'll go through. And a lot of this can be used for either, actual encounters in Elfland or, for creating NPCs or PCs or patrons. It has a lot of stuff there, a lot of flavor you can use to basically flesh out your Elfland world. And because it's mostly a book of tables, this is not going to be a very long review. The length of this video is because attached to this at the end after the review is a live stream I did where I went through the entire book, because the first 2 pages are a solo journaling exercise where you go through and make a character, and the questions it asks to do the solo journaling part go through every part of the book. So it also kind of acts as a table of contents because every section is in bold and has the page number on it. So you can easily just go right through it and basically cover the entire book if you decide to do the solo journaling exercise. But without further ado, let's get into this book. So the first section is Superstitions About Elfland. This is a 1d8 table. It's essentially a rumor table, so you could really throw this onto your own rumor table if you're making one for a sandbox campaign. Or if you're kicking off an Elfland-centric campaign, this is a great place to start. Give the player some ideas of how they might have heard about Elfland or how they might get there. This is the place where you want to start. It's a D8 table, and just to give you guys one of the ones on here, number 5 is those who visit Elfland always leave a portion of themselves there. The next section is entrances and exits to Elfland. This is a D20 table and just gives you a bunch of different ways that you might enter or exit Elfland. I also think this is great inspiration for if you have any sort of wizards who have patrons, either the King of Elfland or maybe a different, Fey patron. These can be great inspirations for rituals to actually contact them. For example, you have train moss or ivy into the shape of a door upon a rock or tree and carve a key to it. Also, dive below a misty lake, touch the bottom, and swim up with your eyes closed. I could see these being ways as, if you don't have it very easy in your game that you can just, call up your patron and talk to them. These could just be a fun ritual that your players have to do to go talk to their patron, and actually have, court with them. Some groups have very fleshed out ways to talk to their patrons, others have more loosey-goosey ways. So this could be a really fun way to sort of, flesh out those ideas on how they might contact them. Next is Mischief in Elfland. These work basically as an encounter table. These are ways where if you're traveling, you might come across certain things. These could be ways for players to get in trouble or have a fun sort of social interaction, or maybe it'll devolve into combat. So just to give you an example of what's on here, a tree stump serves as the table for a dinner party attended by all manner of fey creatures. A trivial conversation has turned argumentative and is nearing physical confrontation. I think this next section is probably going to be the most useful for a lot of people, and that's the locations in Elfland. There are 6 of them. They're 3 pages long each, and they're very, very useful for adventure ideas or even little just storylines, that sort of thing. So we'll just go with the first one here, the Isle of the Banished Usurper. And the first page covers misty waters. The lakes, rivers, and oceans of Elfland are always adorned in haunting mists. The untamed waters claim sturdy ships, and alluring figures claim curious visitors. A singular creature may rule over lakes or small islands, but no creature can truly claim control of the oceans. Sublocations: shrouded seas, haunted rivers and lakes, endless shores, half-drowned shrines. Populated by water spirits, cursed sailors, crabby crustaceans, mermaids, living islands, drowned souls, and seabirds. Reasons to quest here: to recover treasure from a ship lost at sea, to learn from the conch of secrets, to receive the blessing of a pure-hearted mermaiden. Adventure premise: the Isle of the Banished Usurper is home to an undesired heir to a Fey lord, the Electric Medusa. Those who cross the misty waters find an isle full of almost sentient plants and a crumbling lighthouse that the Electric Medusa calls home. She has partially merged her spirit with the genius Loci of the isle, giving her the powers of a minor goddess so long she does not leave the isle. Because of this, many have sought her shores, but few have survived long enough to plead for her blessing. Journey questions: what test does she require for a blessing? What item does she hold? What does the Medusa desire? What or who else hides on the island? So that whole first page is great for, encounter ideas, what creatures they might come across, whole storyline ideas. These are great for, sort of one-shot kind of things. And also the next page is great as well because it has 3 levels of a building as well as an island. So you can use that second page to either, flesh out an actual dungeon, or it could just act as inspiration for what the island might look like and what's on there if you want to show your players like, oh, hey, like the island kind of looks like this, and here's, what the building looks like, that sort of thing. So it works great for that. And the third page, there's a table of the Medusa's regret, as well as the other column saying the inside the lighthouse. So it's a great way to flesh out the dungeon, as well as perhaps give a little bit more story flavor to the Medusa. You can remix these any way you want so that you can really make your own story every time. If you're running for different groups and you want to try out some different ideas, this is a great way to do it. And just to give you guys an example, the first Medusa's regret is the death of her lover. The first entry for the inside the lighthouse is paintings of the ocean view, driftwood sculptures and furnitures, android companion bought from dimensional sailors for a blessing. And finally, you have a whole stat block for the electric Medusa, as well as a man-eating plant. So you have a lot of stuff here that you can just use as a jumping off point. It won't obviously be everything you need for an adventure, but there's lots of inspiration ideas right here. I really do like how much detail there is. It gives you good ideas of different rooms you might have, like the drowned shrine, that sort of thing, and what kind of creatures they might come across, sort of like the man-eating plant, or, some like vicious mermaids that want to eat the players, that sort of thing. So a lot of fun stuff you can do with this. And there's 5 other locations with similar amounts of detail. So there's a lot of stuff here that if you need some sort of ideas for like a one-shot, or, maybe next session's tomorrow and you forgot to plan for it, so you can just grab this real quick, write up a quick thing, and then there you go. At least you have that session covered, so there's that. So the next section is Traps of Elfland, but honestly, you could use these anywhere. They're very, very useful. They are Fey flavored, but you can reskin them pretty easily. I think they're just good ideas in general, and there's a lot here. So for these traps, I'm just gonna give you the section names, and every section has 2 different trap examples that you can use. So you have binding traps, fascination traps, gravity traps, poison traps, possession traps, slumber traps, transformation traps, and transportation traps. So all those each have 2 examples each, so you can really grab these and use them for any kind of campaign, honestly. A lot of them are, like I said, very Fey flavored or Elf flavored, so you do have those, but that works outside of that. For a lot of fantasy games, you're going to have those sort of outside of Elfland anyway. So I still totally recommend this section just for that, because I have trouble coming up with traps myself, so I would definitely be stealing some of these. I will definitely steal some of these for sure. So the next section are Treasures of Elfland, and these are just magical items that you could find in Elfland. I believe there are 10 of them. Yep, there's 10 of them. And these just all work really well as interesting magical items you can have as both patron gifts, from the King of Elfland or any sort of Fey, creature that might want to bestow them a gift for whatever they've done. But they also work as items they can just find in Elfland that they might steal and get in trouble with, just magic items you can use. There's a lot of good ones here, but the one I'm just going to go over right now because I think it's funny is the Unsightly Chapeau. This hat is almost irredeemably ugly. It's so unfashionable that all enemies suffer a -1 to attack rolls against its wearer. However, the wearer also must make all social interaction rolls with a -1 die on the dice chain. The next section is Curses of Elfland, and honestly, this one's a lot of the traps, just really great ones to steal if you need ideas for curses. If you have a wizard or a patron or just some sort of powerful entity, or even just a cursed item, these are a great thing to mine and steal from. You have so many here, there's 12, and they're all varied, so you have a really good amount of different ones to use. The one I'm just going to go over right now, just I think is a cool one, is the Curse of Civilization. With this curse, the victim sees how unnervingly unnatural the civilization of man truly is. When even the smallest hamlet, they suffer a -1 to all actions. And there's lots of other ones here, like Curse of the Beast, Curse of Wanderlust, Curse of Iron, which give you guys ideas of what they probably are. So lots of really good curse ideas here to give players, if they touch bad items or piss anybody off. The last section is Dying in Elfland, which, might not be necessarily the most useful until somebody does die. But I think these are really, really cool. I think this is a great way to keep a PC alive if you want, even though they might be changed or, messed up in a certain way. For example, one here is a curious nature spirit jumps into your weakened body, rejuvenating it and bringing forth new knowledge and the fickle friendship of other nature spirits. You may now cast Animal Summoning, but your lucky roll modifier goes down by 1. If the PC already knows or later learns Animal Summoning as a wizard or an elf, this blessing improves the spell check by 1d, typically to a d24. So this is pretty cool. Instead of them, dying, they actually come back with a nature spirit inside them. That's a great roleplay opportunity where, they're back, but they might have a different, voice in their head or several voices in their head. There are a lot of fun things you can do with that. And there are several other ones here. The one we had in live stream ended up being pretty messed up. So if you end up watching that, you'll see where our character ended up. But it's just great if you want to change up how death happens in Elfland. I think it's very cool. Sometimes a character just dying can be boring, but if you can bring them back in a way that is so strange and eerie, that can be really, really memorable. And finally is the Call of Elfland. And basically this is sort of that call that never leaves you, so that even if you leave Elfland, there might always be that thing that sort of brings you back, and it could be any number of things here. We have Call of the Bloodlines, Call of Cuisine, Call of Desire, Call of the Dream, Call of Seasons, and Call of Spirit. All the calls are really cool. I'll let you discover them for yourself if you end up grabbing this book. So in conclusion, I do recommend it. I do think it is a really good little supplement. I think you'll find a lot of uses for this if you end up doing any sort of elfy or fae stuff. As for the book itself, the quality is good. I love the cover art. I think it's awesome. The inside art is a mixture of art that's been commissioned as well as some public domain art, so it's all really good. I love the border that goes around every page. I think is really pretty and sort of evokes that sort of older book feeling to it. Though it is table bound, so there is that issue that table bound books usually have, where they kind of have, you know, that sort of part where they kind of flip open right in the middle. Not a huge deal for the price, but it's something to keep in mind that if you are somebody who doesn't like stable-bound books, this is a stable-bound book, so you have that. But overall, I think the quality of it is really good, and I do recommend it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and next up is the live stream where I made characters with the chat. We had a lot of fun. But before we get to that, I just want to say thanks to all my patrons. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me. It's really helpful, and thank you so much. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe out there, and enjoy the stream. Welcome, everybody. Today we are going to be doing the... What are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing the solo journaling part of this Elfland Beyond the Fields You Know book. Basically, at the beginning of the book, there is 2 pages with a bunch of questions for making your own sort of character, your wanderer, who might have gone through Elfland before. And essentially, you'll just sort of go through these questions, and then you'll basically end up with this sort of fully formed character that I think you can use as a PC, an NPC, just sort of a fun little, you know, a little writing exercise that you can do. And basically, for everybody in the chat, what I'm going to need from you guys is that not every question demands this, but every few questions or so, like every 3rd to 5th question, it asks me to roll on a table. Instead of rolling, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask you guys to just give me a number between 1 and whatever the dice are. So if it asks to roll for a 1d20, table on a 1d20 scale, I'll just have you guys, you know, put in numbers, whichever one, just 14, 7, whatever, and then we'll just go with that. And then also as we go through questions, I'll probably ask you guys for what you guys think, if you guys think a certain thing is a good idea. So we'll start off real simple. The first 2 questions is that every wanderer needs a name. What's yours? But the second question is, you had a life before all this. Use the DCC RPG occupation table if available. What was your life like before you heard the call? So what we're going to do here is we are going to use Purple Sorcerer to generate a few different ones. And I'll let you guys decide which occupation we're going to use. So you guys will see what I mean in a second. Let's go over to here. Import actors. 0 level from Purple Sorcerer. And this gives us a few different ones. We have 4 here. I am actually, yeah. I am recording with that. So you guys are probably not going to be able to read this small-ass text here, so I'll read it out for you. And this is where we're going to do a poll. I might do polls throughout this. I might just do this one poll, and then we'll just do what I said earlier later on. So what we have here is we have a cut purse, we have a beekeeper, we have a butcher, and we have a woodcutter. It looks like they're all humans. I was going to say if one of them was a dwarf that we'd have to name him Yormit, but we have no dwarves here. No video games today, Steve. Just RPG stuff. And also, welcome, Steve. So I'm going to do a poll here on Twitch for all of you who are able to do it. So you guys can choose for our Wanderer's background before whatever happened in Elfland happened. Was he a cut purse? Was he a beekeeper? Or she, rather. Or non-binary. They. Were they a cut purse, a beekeeper, a butcher, or a woodcutter? Hey, Jake, how's it going, man? Good to see you. And I'm just going to do a new poll here. So, what is our Wanderer's background? Oh, and also, while the poll is timing down, I'll just read a little flavor text at the beginning here. The call of the Wanderer. You have felt the need to travel past the fields you know. At each and every twilight, bells ring and birds sing. All right, time's almost up for the poll. All right, let's see the results. Beekeeper. Okay, wow, that was not even. That's funny. This was barely a contest. We have 75% in favor of beekeeper and 25% in favor of woodcutter. So, beekeeper it is. Copy him over. There we go. And we have our beekeeper. And I might make this bigger if I can. No, not really. But hopefully you guys can still see that somewhat. So we have our beekeeper here. What should we call him? Well, first, I guess, should we give them like a sort of gender neutral name so that you can easily make them whatever gender you want. Something like Francis. What's a good like gender neutral name, or like what's like a good like fantasy name? Beezus. All right, well that's a first start at least. We got we got Beezus so far. Yormit, Linus wants to go Yormit regardless. But basically, for anybody who's just joining right now, we haven't done much. All we've decided on so far is the background occupation of our wanderer before they went on their own little weird adventure with Elfland. And we decided on them being a beekeeper. And right now, we're just trying to decide a name for our beekeeper. I will say Beezus is kind of funny. Billy Bean, I like that one. That's actually pretty good. Billy Bean's not bad. Billy Bean the Wanderer. All right, well, we're gonna go with Billy Bean. Unless, do you guys want to poll? Do you want to poll between Beezus, Yormit, Billy Bean, and okay, we got Linus here. Beangy, Beagles, BG. We'll do another poll here. New poll. Name for Wanderer. We got Beezus. We got Yormit. We have Billy Bean. And I'll put in Bean. Oh, yeah, we got Honey. And I'll put in Beangy because I like Beangy. All right. The poll is going to last for 1 minute here, guys. And it's starting now. So this is the poll. This is for the name of our wanderer. All these names are, you know what? They're certainly RPG names. I'll give them that much. All right, we have about 20 or so seconds left on the poll. I swear to God, Steve, if Beezus wins. All right, we have about 3 seconds left, and here we go. All right, looks like Billy Bean won. Okay, only by 50%. Beezus was right behind it with 33%, and Yormit behind it with 17%. So Billy Bean it is. All right, so those are the first 2 questions. Now we have our third one, and this is where you guys come in again. You know one sure fact about Elfland, or Elfland. Determine it by rolling 1d8 on superstitions about Elfland. So guys, just give me a number between 1 and 8. I'll flip over to that page. And just you guys just throw out numbers between 1 and 8. All right. Well, I'll go with 5 there, since we already got stuff from Steve and King. All right, superstitions about Elfland. So the superstitions that we've heard is that those who visit Elfland always leave a portion of themselves there, which is very fitting. We'll start going to notes here now. I think we just get rid of that. That's already implemented into the character sheet already. Okay. Thank you guys for your numbers. So let's see here. And now we have sort of questions based off of that. All right. So where did Billy Bean learn of this superstition? So they're a beekeeper, or at least they were a beekeeper. It stands to reason if we want to go on the end that, you know, they may have also been dealing with, you know, maybe they're making mead on the side. It could very easily be when they're trading either mead or, you know, if they're trading with people, you know, for honey and everything else, could be down at the tavern. We could go more classic like that. Or we go more weird where like maybe a random stranger one time. Oh, they heard it from the bees. I like that, Linus. I like that a lot. Also, is the chat not showing up now? 1 second. I think the chat might have stopped showing up. I'm going to put the chat over here. There we go. I like from the bees. Okay. Yeah, the bees speak to Billy Bean. I think that is great. Learned from the bees speaking to me. I like that a lot. Do you think that were they like literally speaking? Were they like do you think they were using like honey to like write words? Or were they vibrating like in like Morse code? Ooh, they danced. I like that, Steve. Using that using their little bumblebee butts to yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, good job. Yeah, so Zoe and Steve will take the dancing. Okay. Now the next question. How much does Billy Bean believe in this? I feel like if you're that close with your bees, that Billy Bean definitely believes their own bees, right? Hey, Marin. Hey, Marin, no worries. Better late than never. So far, just to catch anybody up who's just shown up, our wanderer so far is Billy Bean the Beekeeper, whose superstition they've heard, if you visit Elfland, you always leave a portion of yourself there. And Billy Bean learned this from the bees speaking to them. He's an ardent believer. I like that. You know what? Perfect words. Billy Bean is an ardent believer. Believer. Of their words. God damn it, Elias, I beat you to it. Oh, Martin, damn it, we're all hacks with absolutely zero originality. Wait, all of us just did the same joke. Absolutely, Jake. Yes, hive mind. There we go. Perfect. That's perfect. I think we should see other people. Oh man. Okay. So, this one, because it's a lot of numbers, I'll maybe choose two and see which one you like more. So determine how you / Billy Bean found Elfland by rolling a d20 on entrances and exits to Elfland. So everybody, give me a number between 1 and 20, and I'll choose 2, and we'll see which one you like more. Okay. I'll try and choose people who haven't gone yet with stuff, or haven't picked. So I'll go with Michael. Yours there with a 5. Ooh, okay. 5 is being a dinner guest in the home of a woodland creature, which is interesting. And we'll go with yours, Zoe. 13. Consult the hedge witch who was briefly a consort of a Fey Lord. Oh man, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of feeling the hedge witch. That's amazing, Michael. Because I'm imagining with the hedge witch who was briefly a consort of a Fey Lord, I'm imagining like, I don't know, kind of like the really fun aunt. You know, the one that never had kids, who's still like really cool, and maybe a little bit drunk in the middle of the day. That is true. Woodland creature and bees, that also works. But yeah, no, I think I'm feeling the hedge witch. So, it's important business, yeah. This is actually weird. So it is determine how you found Elfland by rolling. Okay, yeah. So I guess found out about Elfland from Fun Hedge Witch, who was consort for a Fey Lord. And then we have questions attached to this as well. How did Billy Bean prepare for the journey, if at all? I'm still getting a bead on Billy Bean here. Do we think they're the responsible type? Because I feel like if you have to take care of bees, you should be responsible. But at the same time, I feel like the type of person that wants to spend all their time around potentially stinging bees. I know bees are nicer than that, and that you can deal with them. They're not like hornets or wasps. But I feel like also they might be a little bit risky. They had a box of Kellogg's honeycombs. I like how we got a no and a yep on the beeswax gum, a jar of mead, and edible flowers. Now you say edible flowers. What are we talking about here? Got smacked out of his mind on hallucinogenic honey. All right, so we're gonna keep. You know what? I like this. I'm gonna say. We're gonna mix your answers together here, guys. Brought. Ooh, Jesus! Get out of here. Hallucinogenic. Wait a minute. How do you spell this? That's not spelled right, is it? That doesn't look right. I don't know how to spell hallucinogenic. Brought hallucinogenic honey. Edible flowers. Mead. Yeah, Billy Bean is immediately becoming just a complete degenerate already. Beeswax gum. Okay, that's, hallucinogenic. Oh, there we go, yeah. Hallucino. Oh, man, I butchered them. I butchered it. Here. Boom. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, we're just gonna leave that there. It's just gonna be highlighted so we can revel in my lack of ability to spell that word right now. A stick. Okay. Yeah, stick is classic. Stick. Pointy. All right. I think that's pretty good. I think that is a good amount of stuff to find or bring with you to Elfland. I feel like 10-inch. There. Oh wait, no, it's 10 feet. Oh wait, oh no, we're gonna say yeah, we're gonna say it's 10 feet. Wait, 10 feet, a 10-foot stick. that is a very, very long stick. I know like we have 10-foot poles, but still, that is like I was thinking like walking stick, but I guess it is basically just a spear. So spears are what usually around like 8 to like 9 feet long, or are they longer? They're like 12. All right. So we got hallucinogenic honey, edible flowers, mead, beeswax gum, and a stick. Okay. This is this is Billy Bean is an interesting character so far. All right, guys. Now we get into the really emotional stuff. Did Billy Bean say goodbye to their loved ones? I feel like no, because I feel like Billy Bean belongs to the bees, and they brought the bees with them, I feel like they might have just had, like, all, like, the like, honeycombs and everything just, like, sort of covering their clothes, so it's just, like, their, like, regular whatever clothes they're wearing underneath, and then just covered themselves in the, in their own hive. Yeah, see, I feel like everybody in the chat is on the same page here, yeah. They're all no. His loved ones are the bees. They're alone except for their bees. um. No, because Billy Bean only loves the bees, and they are always with them. His fellows told him to buzz off, so he did. Oh man, I'm starting to feel bad for Billy Bean. Was maybe run out of town? Question mark. Ooh. Well, you know what, Steve? So, Steve says, can Billy have befriended a single hornet and that's like his familiar? It's funny you said that because my thoughts were that once we make this character, I thought it would be fun for us to also decide what class they might be, and then just make them. So if people want the hornet, if people think it's an interesting idea that he has like one hornet that's familiar, I feel like that's going towards wizard. So a traveling beekeeper wizard does sound kind of fun. Let's do a poll. New poll. Does Billy Bean have a hornet friend? A 10-foot pole. God damn it, Martin. Yes. No. Start poll. All right, cast your votes, people. And also, if you guys say yes, we are gonna need a name for the hornet. So, ooh, he can hear the sound of a lost loved one sometimes in the hum of the bees. That's actually really interesting, Martin. I like that a lot. Oh, you guys can't vote? +1 for yes, +1 for yes. Error on the poll. All right. That's weird. Well, I'm just seeing a bunch of yes. So yes, everybody's saying yes. End poll. Delete poll. There we go. All right, so everybody's saying yes. We're gonna put this up here. Also has a hornet friend. Named. Yeah, nobody said no. Hey, Sundance Kid. And also, for everybody who says stuff, I do apologize if I do miss anything cool that you said, like what Martin said earlier, because the chat moves even fast enough, at this pace that I might miss stuff. So I do apologize. So everybody, we're going to try and name this hornet now. So that's okay. So we got one for horny. We got one for murder. I might axe horny just because that's 2 on the nose. But I like murder. I think Hornsby. Now that's a good one. I like Hornsby. We'll do another poll though. We'll put murder up. We got Hornsby. We got Blackjack. That's another good one. Horace. Guys, you guys have better names for the hornet than you did for the fucking person. Oh, I think we know which one's gonna win. I think. All right. Name of hornet? Question mark. Hornsby. Ooh, Kato. I like that a lot, actually. Blackjack. Murder. Murder. Horace. And we got space for one more, so we're gonna put in Kato. I like Kato, actually. That's sick. Okay, and let me know if this one does not work, guys, because I'll redo this one if this one does not work. But hopefully, poll should be up now. Oh, is it Kato like Green Hornet? That's a funny reference, if so, man. I have not seen that movie. It's not working for you. God damn it. All right, 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna refresh my stream manager. And we'll see. Is it really? Something went wrong. That's really annoying. Okay. Why? Why? All right, we're just gonna do a test. Test. Just see if the test one works. I didn't pay my Twitch license apparently. And if this does not work, still broken. All right. Well, that sucks. This is like the worst time for this to stop working. Thank you, Twitch. I am very sorry, guys. All right. Well, so, fuck. What were our choices again? Okay. I think Hornsby seems to be the one that's probably gonna win. But let's see here. So we'll just pick 4. Do we want Hornsby, Murder, Blackjack, or Horace? Let's go with those first 4. +1 for Hornsby. Pull the name of a hat. Kato also. Yeah, Kato should also be a choice. I forgot how many names we actually put out there. But we got 3 for Hornsby. I have a feeling we know which one's gonna win then. Kato +1. Yeah, what a deep cut reference, Sundance Kid. Got another one for Hornsby. Another one for Kato. We could call him Hornsby Kato, as Kato being his last name. Or Kato is his Hornet name. And Hornsby is just what Billy Bean calls him. Cornsby. Hornado. Okay, I like we spent more time on the fucking Hornet than anything else. All right. Hornsby it is. Kato in the language of hornets. Yeah, this is already becoming very much like a tabletop like group. This is exactly what happens. All right. So the next question, with the finding out about the Elfland entrances, how long did it take for Billy Bean to find Elfland? What's Alan the Goblin up to? Yeah, right. That is pretty much classic RPG. That's like classic first players kind of games, where it's all just jokes. All your first games are just jokes. Oh, he didn't find it. Elfland found him. Memes. Well, we'll put these 2 questions together, which was how long did it take you to find Elfland, and did you have to pay a price to enter Elfland? Which if we go back to the Hedge Witch Consort, we could probably find something in there. Maybe like if he went over for tea, or I guess, tea with a lot more bourbon than tea in the tea or something. Maybe he woke up in Elfland. Ooh, fell asleep in a fairy ring. That's a classic. Brought her honey for the tea. Hallucinogenic honey. I like combining the different answers because I think it's fun. Should we say that Billy Bean, after a long few days of travel away from his home village or their home village, maybe they just ended up taking a bunch of hallucinogenic honey while inside a fairy ring and fell asleep? Maybe he had loved ones that he sold to the witch and has no memory of them. Ooh, that's dark. I like that. That's a fun price. Because I like that a lot, actually. Could say, to keep trying to combine your different answers, woke up in Elfland after seeing the Hedge Witch. Maybe he has some memories of some loved ones. Oh god, their souls split into hundreds of pieces living in his swarm. That is, god damn, we're getting into like heart territory now. Dark background and contrast of the memes, yeah. Yeah, well, explains why Billy Bean only has the bees now, or at least only remembers that. Um, visited Hedge Witch. Um, and we can keep this also kind of vague, depending on if you'll want to mix it around a little bit to their pleasure, to their liking, to their pleasure. Um, maybe visit Hedge Witch. Why is that so hard to say? Say Hedge Witch like 10 times fast. Um, visit Hedge Witch. I cannot say those two words. Um, and maybe got tricked, maybe had to pay a debt, maybe did just sell them willingly to get into Elfland. Maybe Billy Bean wanted to get into Elfland, because this could be punishment or it could be something that they wanted to do, depending. Bernard likes a soul swarm. Visited Hedgewitch, woke up in Fairy Ring, because I think fairy rings are cool. Woke up in Fairy Ring. I think with no stick, but still loads of bees and funky honey that they make. Ooh, Linus, that's a great way to bring it in. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. Maybe Billy Bean was traded over. Actually, you know what? Maybe because I like that Billy Bean might wanted to go somewhere else and was just asking for, maybe like just a portal to like a big city or something else like that. Like they wanted to leave. And the Hedge Witch was like, sure. But the Hedge Witch was also like, oh yeah. And also, if I actually send this guy over there, maybe this will pay off a debt I have to my former consort. Of just sending people over there for whatever reasons. Maybe they need. We can probably decide what that need might have been later with some of the later questions. Was possibly, did Billy Bean did want to leave the area willingly, did not read the fine print, and ended up in Elfland instead of, I don't know. Hey, how's it going, Stefan? How's it going, Stefan? I cannot speak today. Everybody, this is Stefan. He is the one who wrote Elfland. Oh, that's cool. Is that AI generated, Steve? Steve just sent me a picture of like this like dark fantasy beekeeper looking dude. Actually, I can bring it up on screen for you guys. This might be a little bit more dark fantasy than I'm thinking. I will say, if we keep going down this dark road, he might turn into this. The beekeeper in yellow. I like it. Instead of where they expected to end up. Oh, nice. Yeah. I think Billy Bean's life was ruined before they ever entered Elfland, so we'll see how it keeps going. So visited Hedge Witch, woke up in Fairy Ring with no stick, but still loads of bees and funky honey that they create. Billy Bean did want to leave the area willingly, did not read the fine print, and ended up in Elfland instead of where they expected to end up. Also, I think I do like the Soul Swarm thing. I think I'm going to leave it out because I think that will get more convoluted and we're going to have to start changing things in the background there. Because then, is it friends with the bees, or are the bees former family that are now friends? I'll let you guys decide. That can be your headcanon. The yellow sign is hundreds and hundreds of dancing bee butts. All right. So, soon after entering Elfland, you fell into some mischief. Determine it by rolling a d12 on mischief in Elfland. So, if you guys want to give me a number between 1 and 12, I will choose one. Put your numbers in now. Bernard, we haven't picked one of yours yet, so we'll go with you. Ooh. What page is that? Page 7. And you picked 2. An artist is taking liberties with their nude model's rendition, and the model is curious about their portrait. Let's see here. And then the question for that was, what was your part in it? Okay, this should be interesting for Billy Bean. I want to know what you guys have to say about this. I'm gonna write this out. While you guys think of how Billy Bean may have gotten themselves involved in this. Mischief. I'm wondering if the artist, if they're actually like painting different things, like making like a caricature or doing weird stuff, if those things are happening in real life, or if maybe the painting itself is coming to life. And the reason why he's not showing it to the model is that maybe like the painting is coming to life as he's painting it, and he's like trying to like keep it contained without her noticing that it might be like going, out of the canvas, or something might be happening there with that, or it might be changing her and doesn't want her to see how she's changing in real time with his brush strokes. Dorian Grayish, that's not a bad way to go with it. That's not a bad way to go with it at all. Ooh, actually, that's a great idea. If he's painting her, maybe he's like trying to steal her youth. I like that, actually. With their nude model's rendition, and the model is curious about their portrait. What was Billy Bean's involvement? So, I like the Dorian Gray aspect. We're gonna say that this artist, Billy Bean, just came across, maybe they're just like next to like a creek or some sort of beautiful like natural background, and he's painting like this nude model in front of this background, and maybe like I think going off the Dorian Gray thing, maybe this is a way to like capture her image and like steal her youth, so she's like getting older as he's painting her more in detail, like in live action. So artist stealing the youth of their model, and by painting them on some sort of magical canvas. What was Billy Bean's part in this? Do you think Billy Bean stepped in? Do you think Billy Bean like tried to help her? Do you think Billy Bean it's interesting to think about what kind of mischief might have happened here. Maybe he stole the painting? maybe he was sent here to do this? They walk up from the painter's point of view, and the model asks them how their portrait looks. Ooh. Okay, I like that a lot, Linus. What do you guys think Billy Bean's response to that would be? Covered her bits with peas. Billy starts as flower petals used for dye, chased away by the model. Maybe he helped her. This is a tough one. I like this one because I feel like this one is a tougher one than what I was expecting for Mischief. Because I feel like Billy Bean's a decent bloke. A decent fellow. I feel like that would be on the model's side. Is her, though? What are you saying there, Steve? They refuse? I like that. Okay, so the painter asks them to keep up the facade. I don't know. I don't know if they're good. I feel like Billy Bean seems to be a bit of a sort of at least empathetic sort, as in I feel bad for them. It seems like they haven't had the easiest life, so I feel bad for them. Yeah, I like that, Linus. I think you know what, that's simple. I like that a lot. So the painter asks them to keep up the facade, but Billy Bean refuses and spills the Billy Beans. And since we're in Elfland, I feel like there's a few different ways we can go with this. We could say that, like, maybe the painter actually, this was maybe a bit of a test. Maybe that was the Fey Lord consort and sort of was just sort of testing Billy Bean. Maybe they're actually some sort of, when they get angry, they turn into a beast man. Maybe they just, take the pain with them and vanish, promising that they will get their revenge on Billy Bean. I like leaving it ambiguous for now because this might come back later and we might be able to use this. So I like painter grabs the painting, leaving the woman leaving the woman cursed, and then promises to I guess he wouldn't really need revenge if she's still cursed with it. So maybe he leaves the painting there. And the painter friend the model. The subject was one of the King of Elfland's granddaughters. That's fun. I like that. You know what? Yeah, let's say painter disappears. Leaves the painting there with the now elderly woman. And promises to get revenge on Billy Bean. Unclear who the painter was. The model turns out to be a great granddaughter of the King of Elfland. Yeah, definitely some sort of trickster fae. I like that. Unclear what the painter was. Some sort of trickster fae. Perhaps. Okay. Whoops. I don't want to do that. Nice. This is a very... this is so strange and weird. Ooh, the painter painted her with donkey's ears, and now she has them in real life, too. I like that. You know what? We're going to stick with the Dorian Gray, but we're also going to add the donkey ears, because I like that. Now, this now elderly woman with donkey ears, too. Billy's background is wild. Also painted donkey ears on her because he's, I don't know, extra mean, because he's extra tricksy, extra petty. I don't know what we're just gonna say also painted donkey ears on her, because reasons. Huge honking ears. The ears are also honkin' huge. All right, now we're cooking with the gas. Because he's a real jerk. All right. Can I bring this down more? No, doesn't seem to. That's fine. Let's see here. So that is that was getting into mischief, and then that was the partnet. They made an ally of a granddaughter. Ooh, what's the name of the granddaughter for the King of Elfland, guys? What's a really dumb elf name? Throw in like loads of apostrophes. Give me the dumbest elf name that you can think of off the top of your head. Like class. Boo. I want an elfy name for this lady. Her name is for dumb. You know what? I like that. Ope. Her name is Ope Felf. Helandria Garfield. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good elf name. There we go. Goes by Felf for short. Yeah, I like the female elf Melf. Oomphy. Oh man, if you had Oomphy earlier, I totally would have named her Oomphy. That would have been perfect. All right, so that's our elven name. And I also, before I export this, I might clean some of this up so that's a little bit easier to parse for anybody who sees this with absolutely zero context for whatever the hell it is that we're doing right now. All right, so your journey led you to a magical place and a priceless relic. Determine it by rolling on 2 different tables. So we're gonna do the first table right now. Give me any number between 1 and 6 people. That is lines. So you're like, oh, just gotta scoop past you there. All right, got 3 from Martin. We'll do that one because that's the first one I see. Ooh, okay. So we got 3. Okay, this will be interesting. I like this one. This will be interesting. All right. So, very classic. Enchanted groves. At the heart of each ancient forest is an enchanted grove where a fey baron or baroness keeps court. The baron or baroness may be an elf nearly as old as time, a gluttonous satyr, a wolf whose howl is wisdom, or the living spirit of the grove itself. So there is a load more stuff here. Yeah, oh cool, there's a lot. There's a map, and there's 2 pages of stuff. But I don't want to reveal too much of Stefan's book here. So I think we'll just go off of that Enchanted Groves. Oh, and also give me a number between 1 and 10. Because this is going to be the treasures of Elfland. So we got this Enchanted Grove, and we'll find the treasure, and then from there we can decide, hey, Locke, all right, Locke, since you haven't gotten a thing yet, also nice to see you, buddy, we'll go with you. Where is this? Page 34. So we have a Elven Grove, and let's see what treasure is there. 7. Ooh, Blade of Grass. This is a +1 short sword. Simply put, a hardy piece of grass. A gift of fey nature spirits. If the wielder mentally commands the blade, it curls up on their arm and takes on the appearance of a slim bracelet. I was imagining like those snap bracelets. However, the blade does require a moderate supply of water and sunlight or it will wilt and die. That's pretty fun. That's a fun one for Billy Bean, considering Billy Bean already has to take care of animals, so having a sword they also need to take care of is a fun one. So we'll do Blade of Grass and what was it? Was it it was a grove. Okay. So magical location and treasure. Forest grove, blade of grass, +1 short sword, made from grass, needs water and sunlight, can be, is it not hidden? Can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not smuggled, but I guess can be hidden on person, or, you know, can be wrapped on arm, we'll just say. We'll keep it simple. I'm Billy Bean, this is my sword, the bean sprout. Concealed, thank you, concealed, yeah. Yeah, Billy Bean's a big fan of concealed carries, apparently. And can be concealed carried on person. Perfect. So, and let's look at the questions here for this one. Okay, so, okay, you know what? So this is pretty cool. Select results from the relevant table and answer the journey questions for that location. So what we're going to do instead, I'll just ask you guys a question, and then we'll just go through from there. I like the idea of there being some sort of, you know, baroness, or baron, running this little grove, this nice, I'm imagining like a very like cutesy, classic, just sort of forest court here, with some sort of baroness. I'm thinking it'd be fun if Billy Bean was there during like a festival or like some sort of celebration. Maybe some sort of chance to grab this item that pops up. Oh, a Gnome King. I like that. Festival of the Moose. Yes, I like that. Okay, so we'll do Forest Grove run by Gnome King. I knew Martin would like would like that. Forest Grove run by Gnome King. Currently celebrating a moose festival. Okay. What would the moose festival be celebrating? Is it celebrating them like slaughtering moose? Is it celebrating the idea of moose existing? What do you guys think? What would be a fun thing? Because I'm thinking what would be like a fun event that players would find themselves in. Rutting season. Oh, I like that. Currently celebrating a moose festival that celebrates rutting season. There's 3 pretty confused moose just hanging out. I like that. 3 confused moose are attending. Festival is mostly attended by gnomes. And we'll say I feel like dryads are a classic one as well. By gnomes and dryads. Yeah, it's just a garden party. I like that. More garden party than full-blown festival. Okay, I like that. Okay, so I'm imagining like this is happening um after the whole incident with the painter. So I'm imagining that Felf is there with him. Um because now the next two questions is who became an ally and who became an enemy, and what challenges did Billy Bean face? Um, because there's also this relic here, and I'm wondering if the relic would have been like a prize to like a contest, or if it was just there. Maybe it's part of the celebration. Um, yes. Ooh, there are the fun table events. Yes. I didn't want to use too much of your book on stream just in case. Ooh, that is great though. We're gonna use this for sure. Do you guys want to give me a number between 1 and 4? Thank you, Stefan. 2. All right. All right. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with 4. That Bernard did, because I don't think Bernard's got one yet anyway, and this one's pretty fun. The Bloom. A massive flower opens up, releasing a pungent fragrance. All nearby are affected by the psychedelic pollen and are likely to give way to previously repressed desires. DC fort save negates. The reason why I like that one is that I feel like that one works really well because we already know that Billy Bean is a degenerate addict. And I feel like perhaps Billy Bean would not be as heavily affected by this this like crazy psychedelic pollen. Maybe giving him a chance to take this this artifact while everybody else is just like high out of their gourds. The moose are just fucking totally zonked out. Maybe this is the perfect time for Billy to get his grubby little mitts all over Blade of Grass. Yeah, exactly, Jake. This pollen ain't nothing compared to my honey. So party has psychedelic flowers that bloom and get everybody fucking lit. Except Billy Bean, who has an unusually strong tolerance for against these psychedelics, thanks to his abuse of okay, I guess I'll hallucinogenic again. Hallucinogenic. Oh god, no. Now I've ruined it. There we go. Oh, I like that, Bernard. The moose who triggered the flowers, and the gnomes, dryads, and elf king, or I guess I'll just say Felf. And Felf all get super high, giving Billy Bean the chance to grab Blade of Grass. So for Blade of Grass, what do we see with Blade of Grass? Do we think Blade of Grass is like, I don't know, is it like literally maybe in a special like bed of soil that's like a shrine? Is it like in a glass case? How do you guys see this short sword? Maybe it's around the wrist of somebody. Maybe it's around the wrist of like the Gnome King, who's just like in his throne, just completely, completely zonked out. Oh boy, lost connection to the server. I sure hope not. I think we're good. I feel like for this artifact, it's just a really tall bit of grass. I like that. Blade of grass just appears as a very tall blade of... Oh, God. All right, 1 second, guys, while I try and get this fixed. I don't know why this is happening. This is very bad timing. We've had nothing but technical difficulties all night. The Gnome King strikes back. Yeah, the Gnome King is not happy with this at all. So we'll just wait for this to fix itself. And I guess we can think about techno goblins, all the gremlins. Oh fuck! I really hope that's saved because I didn't save once. So I really, 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 really hope that's saved. Because that otherwise I'm just gonna go through the footage. Alright, starting server. Otherwise I'm gonna have to go to the footage after the fact. I mean, we won't need to do that now. I'll just continue from where we are. But I mean, like afterwards. I think so, Steve. I think it should be saved, but just in case, I'm just a little bit worried, just because it was open the entire time. So, oh god, please, Billy Bean, please have your stuff still there. No, oh no, we lost all of that. I have to retype that all up after the stream. I am sorry, guys. This is a very sad day. I'm glad I was recording so I could just look back at what we had there. But it's okay. It's okay. It's not even showing now for you, Bernard. Wow. We are having troubles today. I apologize. Okay. So, all right. We're going to keep moving. We'll say blade of grass. The server crashes the elven trap that you encounter. I am recording, thankfully. I have the VOD. Also, that's a low blow, Steve. I'm still hurting from that. From my complete failure. Actually, you know, that's what this is. I'm being punished for fucking up the AP. So, blade of grass growing out of the biggest psychedelic flower. The party game test is to overcome the psychedelic pollen and grab blade of grass. Everybody else fails, and Billy Bean wins fair and square. Making an enemy of all moose kind who really, really wanted that sword for themselves, even though they don't have hands. They can still hold it in their mouth and use it, and now they can't, since they wanted it for themselves really badly. We'll say that Gnome King's chill about it. Moose are ordinary fucking assholes. For anybody who doesn't live near moose, they're fucking terrible. They're dicks. And we'll say that basically the trap for that relic, we'll just say the next question is like what was the trap? I feel like the psychedelic plants is trap enough. They are scary giants. They're very scary giants. Moose are horrifying monsters. Okay. Um. Ooh, interesting. So we'll be moving forward. Oh, you know what, King? I do like that. Um. Elfland moose have hands underneath their hooves. Hooves, and it is super creepy. There we go. Okay. So moving past that one, and we're gonna just save here just as we go along. If you are found in a compromising situation, determined by rolling 1d12 on Curse of Elfland, page 37. So do you guys want to give me a number between 1 and 12? Page 37. We got 7, we got 6. Zoe, I haven't done one of yours in a while, so we'll do you. Curses of Elfland. That sentence. Hey there, TD. Okay. What'd you want? Zoe, you said 6. Okay. Curse of Wanderlust. Ooh. With this curse, the victim must trek across the lands or lose 1 luck for each day not spent traveling. Recovers at 1 point per day spent traveling. They often begin an aimless, never-ending journey or die from horrifically unlucky mishaps. That works well. That works well. It's almost like Stefan wrote with these a lot of good ideas in mind. But I like that one a lot. So the Curse of Wanderlust. You know, we can also... So we have 2 different people who we could say put that curse on them. We could come up with somebody new. Or we could say maybe like the Moose of Elfland did that. Or we could say that tricksy person from before, the painter, put that curse on Billy Bean. Billy Bean gets cursed. By... I feel like the painter makes more sense. I like the painter guy. By that strange painter man. Curse of Wanderlust. Oh, forgot a dash here. Well, the painter is also a moose. That strange painter man. Or perhaps painter moose. Curse of Wanderlust. With this curse, the victim must trek across the lands each day. And either go on an aimless, never-ending journey or die from horrifically unlucky mishaps. Billiam Bean has a rational fear of orca. Yeah, absolutely. The thing was it orca and polar bears like the only natural predators of moose. And let's see what else. What are the next questions here for this? Ooh. Okay, so this is the curse. Billy Bean trekked across Elfland for an unknown amount of time. Now here's the question, guys, and it's unfortunate that the poll isn't working, because we have two options to go from here for the next two questions. Let's see here. Did Billy Bean die from this curse? And we'll go deeper into it if they do die from this. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next section. But there is dying in Elfland, which might not be final. So there could be some interesting stuff depending on which one we pick here. But the other option is that Billy Bean did eventually get out of Elfland. So what are you guys feeling? You guys feeling that Billy Bean dies in Elfland, or do you think Billy Bean finally escaped? And keep in mind, this is not the end. We still have more to go, even after these questions. But this is where the branch, or like the fork in the road, happens. So you got one for dies, one's for get out. Another two for get out. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, TD. The orcas are insane. Died in a freak orca accident, doomed to wander. So, King, is that a death or is that an escape? I feel like that's death, is how I'm reading that. So we got death, death, life, death, death. I'll give you guys another little while to vote here. All right. Another dead. Okay. Muppet Treasure Island. Yeah. It's more like he can't die. Yeah, that's fair. Well, we'll see here because these the dying in Elfland had some interesting ones. So looks like dying in Elfland seems to have won out. So do you guys want to give me a number between 1 and 6, and we'll choose here. On Billy Bean's fate in Elfland. God damn, this is a fucking dense book. This is good. All right. Bernard, I'll go with you since I went with Zoe last time. Ooh, this is an interesting one. All right. Your essence has been taken and given to one who always wished to be more than a living toy. You still live, but your eyes turn to buttons, your flesh into cloth. You are a living doll. Instead of healing naturally, you must sew and stitch yourself back together, healing 1 hit die for each hour that you spend doing so. Fortunately, you no longer feel the need to sleep and are immune to sleep effects. Wow. I like that a lot. This is a cool fucking... This is a weird character. This reminds me of the game It Takes Two, and also a little bit Coraline as well. But I like that a lot. I like this weird sort of wandering beekeeper with all these bees around them and the hornet. And it is also just a living doll. Make him a muffin man. For an amount of time until they finally succumbed to Elfland. Billy Bean's essence was taken and given to one who always wished to be more than a living toy. Billy Bean got buttons for eyes. Billy Bean received buttons for eyes. Flesh into cloth. And is cursed to wander. I wonder if we'll see how it goes. Maybe the curse is over, but is cursed to wander. Actually, we'll remove that part. We'll come out of that. Flesh in the cloth, and is constantly sewing up tears and damage from the constant traveling. Okay, that is pretty fucked up. Billy Bean no longer needs to sleep. Poor Billy Bean. I'm gonna save this again just so that we don't lose this part. Okay. My server has not crashed in literally like a year. I cannot believe it had to do it today of all days. Okay. So, I like that. So they're traveling. And now the question is, after that, do you guys think that Billy Bean left Elfland? Or do you think they stayed wandering in Elfland? Oh, I like that line. Do you mean like instead of like stuffing on the inside, it's bees? Billy Bean's bees fill them. Fill their cloth. Their cloth body. God, this has become a horrifying creature. With their Billy Bean's bees fill their cloth body up to give it structure and are constantly vibrating and bulging in different areas of the Billy Bean outfit. So just Billy Bean went from this poor guy with no friends but bees to now this like cloth creature filled with bees just sort of flying all around inside him. Ooh. I like that. I like that idea a lot. The head looks like a honeycomb. I'm sorry, the head is a honeycomb constantly drooling hallucinogenic. Fuck this goddamn word. You guys know what I'm saying. We're gonna call it drooling funky honey. Yeah, that's it. The head's a honeycomb, constantly drooling funky honey, and changes based on expression. Okay, so we've gone full monster mode with Billy Bean. Linus, I might need to commission art for you, Linus, just for Billy Bean. Okay. And we're getting pretty close to the end here with Billy Bean. Because honestly, this actually works out kind of great for anybody, because I'll look into statting this guy out as well once you finish all this stuff. But I feel like this guy does kind of work as like a wandering encounter. Like if you have like an encounter table like for Elfland, or for some kind of Elfland like oh hey, also Steve, thank you, Steve. Steve typed out all the stuff that was in this thing earlier. Fuck yeah. Thank you, buddy. And then we're just going to boop. There we go. I'll fix all this afterwards with like the line breaks and everything. But thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. We'll just I'll deal with all this stuff later. But thank you. I'm also gonna save that now. Okay. But I do think this just works already. As a wandering encounter that you guys can come across, I feel like this works better as an NPC than a PC. It's all right. Electricity isn't necromancy. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I will grab that in a bit. And I will change that. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. What was I gonna say? Totally lost my train of thought. I'm gonna open another beer. Woo! This is fun though. I'm enjoying this. Okay. So, oh god, 10 push-ups now. All right. I'm gonna have to get rid of this poncho then. Woo! I'll be 1 second. I'm back. They did, Marin. The punk giveth the puff, taketh away. You're damn right. Okay. So, as I was saying, because like coal power plants are just necromantic magic engines that run on the condensed souls of the extinct. That is metal as fuck, TD. I like that. I like that a lot. It's also very fucked up. So Billy Bean, I feel like works as NPC. Not necessarily malicious, but I think just a Billy Bean is doomed to wander Elfland as a bee-filled, person-sized doll forever. Absolutely, Steph. This guy's great. I love him. And we're going to stat him out here for DCC. Woo! Person-sized doll forever. And honestly, I think we're going to leave him as neutral. We're not going to make him chaotic. Or not, we're not going to have him be chaotic or lawful. Yes, exactly, Steph. That's where I feel like we're at with him now, because he's so fucked up that I think that's where he works his best. But also, Steve mentioned the Hornsby the Hornet, his little familiar. So I think we're gonna make him a wizard, and I'm thinking maybe like 3rd level wizard. Hey, food stamp. You feel like bees feel like lawful society? Billy is a chill dude that wanders the world and happens to be simulacrum full of bees. Yeah. Billy Bean's doomed to wander Elfland as a bee-filled person. Okay. Billy Bean is doomed to wander Elfland as a bee-filled person-sized doll forever. He's an apiaromancer. I like that. Like that a lot. And I think that's where we're going to save that guy. And then now, I think we are going to make him a wizard. I think that works best for this guy. And I don't think we'll worry about the AC and hit points too much right now. I might figure that out afterwards. But I feel like wizard spells would be the most interesting one, right? I feel like... He's traveling forever. He's probably been around the block by the time the PCs would meet him. So I feel like a 3rd level wizard. Yeah, 3rd level feels good because that's not too high. And if he's alone, he's not that much of an encounter. Like, it's not hard to deal with that. Like, it's not like a... If for some reason they piss him off. Billy Bean seems pretty chill. Or at least very removed from the world. Necro Apiaromancer. You You can find lots of engravings and duels of bees in old monastic writings. Christian monks wrote a lot about bees, how bees are the kind of lawful animals that we should emulate the servants of God. You know what? I like that a lot. I'm changing my answer. We're going lawful. Because I think both, was it Blades? Was it King of Blades also said that? Two people said lawful. Bernard said feels like lawful society. He's a furry, but for bees. I like Apiaromancer for the title. I think that's fun. We're going to do 3rd level. Let me grab my DCC book. Fuzzy, I like that. That's good, TD. Buzzy and Fuzzy are both good. I think those both work. Oh yeah, what's his intelligence? Billy Bean, 10 intelligence, really good personality. He'd actually make a very good cleric, some sort of bee cleric. But Billy Bean, holy shit, Billy Bean is fucking strong. Look at that stamina. This is gonna be a buff wizard. 15 strength. Honestly, he's pretty much good for anything except for wizard. So we're definitely gonna do wizard because Billy Bean is an unfortunate soul. So that's what he deserves. So wizards at 3rd level. Go off of that. Wizards at 3rd level. Spells known 6. Max spell level 2. So I guess I get 1 2nd level spell and 5 1st level spells. So we'll just pick out ones that I think would make most sense for them. Spells. What's spells? 1. So I feel like animal summoning for sure, and I feel like no matter what it would be, it would always be bees. Or like either whether it's giant bees, hornets, anything like that. Also familiar. Hornsby. So definitely animal summoning. And cast fist, yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here? Well, I feel like find familiar, since he has a familiar. We'll have to put that one in there. Do you think... I feel like Billy Bean does not have a patron. I feel like Billy Bean is a very lonely soul. Ooh, Swarm of Bees, just a healing spell. That's pretty good. Oh, that's actually fun. Using animal summoning as like a healing spell for himself. So if you like slice them open and like bees just sort of spill out dead from the attack, and he casts that and puts them back in and just sews them back up. I think that's pretty fun. Oh, mending for sure then. We'll put mending because he's a doll, so mending absolutely works for what they would want. I think this is working out really, really well. I feel we have spider climb. There's no flying at level 1. But spider climb can be close enough if we want to keep going with the sort of arachnid insect sort of thing. There's a few other ones we have here. Enlarge. I'm trying to think of things that would work for the choking cloud. It could be a choking cloud of bees. There is Featherfall. Featherfall could work. Yeah, actually, you know what? Featherfall works. In the sense that like, because isn't it like that? Like, due to terminal velocity, like, bugs basically can't fall to their death because they just don't weigh that much. I like choking cloud just for the idea of just a choking cloud of bees. I think that's just a fun one. Ooh, a cushion of bees. I like that. Yeah, so we'll do Featherfall and choking cloud as those spells, all bee themed. And then he'll get 1 level 2 spell. So we got Arcane Affinity, Detect Evil, Detect Invisible, ESP, Fire Resistance, Forget, Invisibility, Invisible Companion, Knock, Levitate. Levitate could work. Locate Object, Magic Mouth, Mirror image, monster summoning. Goodberry, honeycomb chunk, yeah. Nifil's porcupine coat. That could be a bunch of bee stingers. That could just be like a crap load of different bee stingers just appearing all over them. That could be a good one for that. Phantasm, Ray of Enfeeblement, Scare, Scorching Ray, Shatter, Spiderweb, Strength, and Wizard Staff. I'm feeling Nithiel's Porcupine Coat. Levitate also is another one. What do you guys think? Anything here? Yeah, you know what, Stefan? That could also work too, because if it's locate object, that could also be an NPC who's helpful. Because if they're like, oh, we're looking for a thing, someone's like, I've heard of the one known as Billy Bean who can find anything you need. So that could also work for that. Good night, Martin. Invisible Companion, Swarm of Invisible Bees, one giant invisible bee. Nice, I like that. Kind of like Mirror Image, summons a swarm of bees in his image. I like all these, honestly. These are all really good. Any psychic attack spells, Buzzkill, Harsh as Your Mellow. So yeah, we'll keep narrowing it down. Fire resistant bees, yeah. Not the worst idea. Not the worst idea. I mean, he also is made of cloth, so fire resistance isn't the worst idea to have. A swarm of bees flying down your throat is horrifying. Yeah, that's what choking clouds for, Bernard. But you know what? I think we can go with what Stefan said. I like locate object because I feel like that will at least make Billy Bean a useful NPC, which I like. So I am going to go with locate object. And I'll do their hit dice. It has 6 already, and then it's just 3d4 plus 9. So 16, so 22 hit points. We're not gonna do all this boring stuff. I'll do all this stuff, I think, off stream, just because I assume you guys don't care about this. And then reflex 1, will 3. Locate flowers. Yeah, that's another great one, TD. That's right. You know what? I think that actually solidifies locate object even more for me. That's a good one. And like I said, Billy Bean's a lonely soul, so there's no patron for them. Staff works for the stick, so we have that. Even though they got lost, probably got a new one. Jar of honey, oil. I feel like Billy Bean does not need much. Billy Bean's a wanderer who does not need to sleep. Probably doesn't really need to eat either. So we'll leave it at that. I feel like with cloth, I feel like an AC of 10 honestly kind of works. I feel like there's not much. Yeah, there's not really much there. And languages, common. Actually, you know what? I feel like Billy Bean's been around so much, we'll say any language that can be found in Elfland. Bee dancing, twerking, yeah. Everybody's going the same route. But I think for the most part, that's pretty much Billy Bean. So just to summarize, Billy Bean was a beekeeper in some, random medieval village. Didn't really have many friends, didn't really have anybody but their bees, and of course Hornsby the Hornet, his little familiar. Went to a hedge witch after he sort of run out of town or just wanted to leave on a new change of pace. Was hoping to get, maybe like a portal or like to be whisked away to like a big city or, somewhere nice, but end up getting sent to Elfland. where they became an enemy of some sort of painter. I think we said it was like a moose painter. I think we retconned that, so it was like a moose painter who cursed them for revealing that the painting was stealing the youth of that woman who was the granddaughter of the king of Elfland. He also then throughout all this, I feel like all the time, because this Elfland is all, you know, weird. It could have been years between different things. There's probably loads of adventures between the small things we touched on that you can always just flesh out and fill out yourself. But going along, I imagine they went with the granddaughter to this party of the Gnome King, passed the test of the psychedelic flowers, grabbed this sweet. Oh right, they have that +1 short sword, so we'll have to add that for sure, because they definitely have Blade of Grass at their disposal. So that's a good weapon to have. So yeah, they grabbed Blade of Grass. They were cursed by that painter to wander forever. I would say maybe at some point lost the granddaughter. Either they parted ways amicably, or she had to go off and do things, or she got whisked away, or he lost her. Who knows? Like I said, all this sort of stuff, I feel like we have a pretty good template for anybody to just take Billy Bean and do what they want with them. And Billy Bean, from this curse, finally succumbed to Elfland. She's allergic to bees. Yeah, but yeah, she finally got stung and had a really bad reaction. And that, I like that a lot. I'll add that to the notes afterwards, actually, because I like that a lot. So she had to leave because she was getting stung too much and like had too many close calls with death. But yeah, he finally succumbed to Elfland, and was sort of transferred this weird doll-like body with buns for eyes, cloth for flesh, filled up with his own bees, and this sort of honeycomb head within that cloth flesh that just is always like drooling honey out of the mouth, maybe the eyes too, and like the nose, just everything, every orifice just drooling and bleeding honey at all times, and is just cursed to wander Elfland forever, perhaps trying to help, perhaps doing their own sort of selfish things. Who knows? Billy Bean is a bit of a mystery, but I quite like them. I think this was a very fun little experiment. Stefan, I think you made a great little solo journaling thing here. You guys can grab Elfland on drive-thru, as well as a few other places. I'll be doing a review on it on the YouTube channel, where I'll put all the links for that sort of stuff there. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for being here for this. I thought this was really fun. I hope you guys had fun with it, because I'd love to do more of these sorts of things. So there's so many different things we could do. One stream I want to do is creating a DCC dragon, just using all the tables in the DCC book. It's on Exalted Funeral and also through Gimmin Games. Perfect. Yeah, this was really fun. I really love Billy Bean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the notes. I'm going to fully stat out and finish Billy Bean, and give him Blade of Grass and make sure all the stats look good. And then I'm going to export Billy Bean to my Discord server, and you guys can grab him there for your own Foundry stuff. I might also try and find a way to just get him all in a text file so that people can just easily grab him and just look at everything. But yeah, no, I'm glad you guys were able to be here for this. This was really fun. And yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much.